So, as many of you guys know, today was the FOMC rate decision. This is where the Federal Reserve decided if they wanted to raise, cut, or pause interest rates. According to what it was that was actually done today, I did live stream it, and for those that tuned on in, would have noticed that yes, the expectation was 4.5%, and what was reported was 4.5%. Again, the Federal Reserve has continuously paused, meaning not cut interest rates, which is what the market wants the Federal Reserve to do. It has continuously paused, and yet, even after this report was initially released, and this was at 2 p.m. EST, if I'm not mistaken, we initially popped up, and then we retraced, we popped up again, and then by the time that Jerome Powell stopped the press conference, which was 30 minutes after, the overall market began to downturn. Lower highs, lower lows, but in reality, yes, it's a red day for the NASDAQ market, but it's only down 0.02%, and then during aftermarket hours, 0.01%. It is frustrating how choppy and how sideways the market has been for the past 3 days. This week has just been a lot of chop. There's really no progress on the upside and definitely no progress on the downside. So this is where it's super crucial and super important. There was let me see if I could actually pull it up here. Oh, definitely not that one. There was a post that was shared earlier, and it's pretty much this, where this is the market, and this is if the U.S. joins the war, which again, I don't even really believe is the way that the market is going to react, because, and this is if U.S. actually joins, and this is if the U.S. doesn't join. Nothing right now is causing the market to drop. It really just seems like the markets are trying and begging to make new highs before they see another downturn. And I've repeated this over and over again, and I just want to make sure that you understand markets are trading sideways. Can markets make new highs or new all-time highs? 100%. But I want to remind you, what is the risk to reward? That is the biggest thing, is that anyone buying at these levels, I hope you're taking into consideration the downside risk. We are so close to previous all-time highs, and it's not that we can't make new highs, it's that everything that is currently being presented with economic data, with tensions overseas, with trade war concerns, nothing is bullish. The only thing that is bullish is the stock market. Nothing is thriving in our economy. I mean, it was also just released today that these are the current layoffs that we are experiencing right now. And not a lot of layoffs, true. Only September 2008 level layoffs. Again, we are experiencing an insane amount of uncertainty, of downturn, of slowdown, yet the markets do not want to react. So this isn't to scare you or to encourage you to sell everything. I have a ton of long-term investments that I have no intention of selling. Let me explain why. Because I bought when the markets downturn. So I'm priced in at a pretty decent price, meaning that even if markets do downturn, again, my intentions were never to sell in the short term. So although we've experienced a nice recovery, I did trim some of my profits, but a majority of my money is still invested long term. And even if the markets do downturn, I'll probably just buy more on the pullback. The whole idea is the risk to reward. If you do buy now to invest long term, what's your profit potential? 5, maybe 10%. What's your downside potential? A lot more, right? If we look at QQQ and if we look at previous all-time highs, that's a 2% return. If we look at the previous lows that we've made, 22%. It's common sense. It's just, is it worth the risk? You could only answer that question if, you've taken time to actually understand the market. It is not that the market has to pull on back. It's that the market is simply not a good deal. Things are irrational right now. Things are uncertain, and we are waiting to see what happens in the Middle East. Do tensions between Iran and Israel get better or get worse? Because if they get worse, then guess what? Everything will drop, right? If the US gets involved, then everything will drop due to the uncertainty. If things do get better, then at least at that point, you can justify entering or going long or trading to go long, because now you have confirmation that direction is actually in your favor and market sentiment should be in your favor. But why get ahead of yourself? It's not like you're going to have a home run of an investment or have a home run of a trade, right? This is where it pays to be patient, where you're selective on the opportunities that you actually choose to invest in and choose to trade, right? Because buying here at 528, sure, you could maybe sell it at 530, 532. But guess what? What if you buy now, you bag hold, and you ride it all the way down to 475? Who says that it can't go back down to 450? The idea is make sure every time you put yourself in a position, you understand your intention. If you're going in for a day trade, get in and get out when it makes sense, and make sure you manage and mitigate that risk. If you're going in for a long-term play, ask yourself, does the risk to reward actually make sense? And if the answer is no, then maybe it's not the worst idea to have some cash on the sidelines, so if markets do begin to downturn, you're able to take advantage of an actual opportunity when deals are presenting itself. That's the whole idea. To not buy and become over leveraged at overbought levels, but to buy during downturns when deals are actually presenting themselves. And the last thing that I wanted to share with you is what we've received an update on so far. And it says breaking: the US and UK has evacuated all of their aircrafts from the US military base in Qatar. War on Iran has arrived. I'm not here to say that Iran has, that war against them has actually arrived. This is just the post that I found on x.com. But the thing that I am here to say is, first off, this is confirmed that they have evacuated those aircrafts from that military base in Qatar, but it could just be because tensions are rising. And obviously they want to make sure that all of their aircrafts are safe and not attacked, as that could be an easier target for Iran. With that being said, I'll make sure that I do my part in keeping you guys up to date. Again, tomorrow, in observance to Juneteenth Day, the stock market will be closed. So I will see you on Friday for our live trading session. If you want to tune on in to watch me trade live, that will be the second link in the description down below. I appreciate you guys' time. I hope that it earned your thumbs up. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.